What's up YouTube, Jeff Robbins here, and we are back with an engine investigation video. We're going to take a look at this joker right here. As you can see, it's got a big old hole in the front of the case. So we're going to cut the seals, open it up, just so we can see what's going on in there, see what exactly failed. Not sure if we'll be able to determine why it failed, but we're definitely going to take a look. So the driver flipped the go-kart first session of our test and tune day. They brought the cart back into the pit, did an oil change on it, sent it back out, and they got another 2 sessions on it. And then for race day, they actually made it through warm-up, heat 1, and then the engine failed white flag lap of heat 2. So kind of interesting. They actually did 2 oil changes, one on test and tune day and then one on the race day. So definitely had oil in it, so we're not quite sure why it failed. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a degree wheel on here. We're going to just check the cam just to see if it bent, and then we'll start tearing it apart and seeing what failed. But let's get into it. Well, so I just realized we won't be able to check the cam because I won't be able to find top dead center, unfortunately. So we're just going to keep taking this apart and then see what we find on the inside. So even though the piston appears to be stuck and we won't be able to find top dead center the normal way, had an idea. I'm gonna go ahead and use this tool that I picked up and see if that'll get us close enough to top dead center. I really want to check the cam on this thing, and I guess if the numbers are way off, we'll know it's bent. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this on here and we'll check the cam with this tool, see if that gets us close enough to top dead center. Alright, so just profiled the cam, and crazy enough, as long as I was close enough to top dead center when I started, it still was within spec. So it does not look like the cam was damaged. But we've got the engine torn basically all the way down. I just got to get the puller on this flywheel and see if I can get that off. Once that's off, we'll go ahead and we'll crack the sills off and we'll open the case. Okay, we've got the engine completely stripped down. Taking that flywheel off, it came jumping off there and almost bit me in the toe, which is pretty crazy. That thing was on there tight. So we're gonna go ahead, let's cut the sills. I'm gonna beat this case open and then we'll take a close look on the inside and see what's going on here. Dude, you hold the camera while I open it. Damn. Bro, there's so much metal in the bottom of that. All right, so I had to give it a few good love taps, but I finally got her open. Here's the camshaft, and it actually profiled still within spec, so it doesn't look like the camshaft was damaged. But here's the bottom of the rod right here, completely destroyed. And you know, let me see if I can knock the crank out of this case. Definitely got some marks. I'm not sure if the lower end's seized or what, but there's definitely some marks on here. I can't feel them with my fingernail. Got some scoring down there. Got our lifters. You know, let's see if this piston sees. Let's see if we can get this piston out. You know what, this thing's already damaged. We don't got to worry about ruining anything. Oh, there's our piston. This little baby rod in this thing. So it looks like we're definitely missing some pieces. When the engine failed, the driver did say that he felt some stuff hit him in the back of the arm, and it does look like we're missing. It looks like we're missing part of the rod. That looks like what came flying out of there. But I got the piston out. Looks like a little 3-ring piston, 4-ring, 3 rings. Pretty cool. But yeah, kind of definitely a mess in there. Cylinder is extremely dirty. But it doesn't. Definitely some scoring. Yeah, interesting. Not sure if the top end seized or if it was that lower end that seized that caused the failure. We got some more chunks in here. Looks like a little bit more of the rod. Interesting. Yeah, I really don't know, guys. I mean, I can't feel anything, any scoring on that bottom end. I mean, I've seized a 2-stroke. I've got the piston right here. So if you look at this, I seized this thing on my dyno earlier this year, 4-corner seize. I just didn't let the engine heat up long enough. And I mean, you can definitely feel the seizure on this piston. Fortunately, I was able to just hone out the cylinder, throw a new piston in it, and it was good to go. But there it is, guys. She's completely torn apart. Definitely a rod failure. That is definitely what let go. Completely shattered. And that's most likely what came flying out of the front of the engine and hit the driver in his arm. Yeah, it's pretty impressive that that it can fail like that. I've never had one of these happen to one of our engines, but I have seen this a few times out at our track over the years. Basically the same thing. Big old hole in the front of it, just like that. Nice little window for you into the inside of the engine. Very cool. All right, guys, I'm gonna clean up my workbench and then I'll come back, do a quick debrief, and appreciate you guys for watching. Okay guys, so here's the boneyard from everything that I pulled out of the engine. Definitely a rod failure, but to be honest with you, I really don't see any huge indicator on why it would have failed. We do have a little bit of scoring down here on the crank, on the big end. Piston pin looks great. I mean, it's smooth as can be. There's no wear. So, I mean, I'm just not sure. And I mean, there's a little bit of scoring in the cylinder. Let's see if you guys can see it. There's a little bit of scoring right down there, but you can't feel it with your fingernail. And I mean, if it was a two-stroke, just hone that up and it'd be good to go. So I'm to be honest with you, I'm just not sure why it would have failed. I've got a couple of two-stroke. Here's a two-stroke piston pin. I mean, if we look at it, I mean, the wear on this thing isn't really any worse than the wear we're seeing on anything in here. And this was just replaced during a normal top end rebuild. Didn't fail or anything. Here's a two-stroke crank pin, and I mean, I just pulled this out just to replace the bottom end of an engine, and I mean, I can't feel any scoring on this thing either, and it looks basically identical and feels identical to what we see over here. I totally expected to see something like this. So this was my son's KA, and this thing failed on us. And I mean, look at that. Look at that big old gouge. I was totally expected to see something like this in this engine. And I mean, this right here, I mean, that groove right there is probably, I don't know, a millimeter thick. I mean, you can hear my fingernail just catching on it. And this came out of our KA. My son brought the engine off the track and just said that the engine was sounding a little weird. You know, we started it up on the stand a couple times and it was making a bunch of noise. So fortunately, he pulled off the track before this could have been a lot bigger failure. But I was expecting to see something like this inside that engine. Just don't see it. So if you guys have any good ideas on what may have caused this failure, please post those in the comments. I'm definitely trying to learn along with you guys as well, but there's just nothing that stands out as what may have caused this failure. So there you have it, guys. Definitely hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed tearing it up. This was the first time I've ever cut the seals personally on a 206 and got inside the case, so it was definitely interesting. So until the next one, guys, plan your race your plan, have a good time at the track.